Hey, welcome back to Web3 with Whitney. This is day 20, which just is a nice round, semi large number for a daily project. And tomorrow is one of my favorite numbers, 21. So I'm very excited about that. But I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. I want to focus on today. I'm really looking forward to this topic, which was suggested by one of the listeners or viewers. And this is about women that are making an impact in Web3. And I'm calling this part one because obviously, as a woman in Web3, I care a lot about this and I'm learning so much. I'm meeting so many amazing women. I just joined a 8-week long um, cohort. Cohort, I think, is the way that they refer to it, a community and educational platform and or program. Can't even find the words for it. And I'm meeting incredible people in there every single day. So uh, that's why this is just the beginning. And I'm so grateful for the person who submitted this question. If you didn't know, I take questions from anyone, topic suggestions, and I reward you for doing so. And hopefully you submit things that are really meaningful to you. I have another question I just got today that is something I've actually never heard of. So sometimes people ask me things that I've never even considered in the Web3 world. And that just makes it really awesome for me too. So thank you to those of you who have submitted questions. If you would like to, you can always ask me live. Although if you ask them to me through my website, whitneylauritsen.com/web3, I can not only really easily send you some free cryptocurrency, my social token called the Well Coin, um, but it also just allows me more time to prep. As much as the live videos are awesome, most people are very quiet. They don't tend to interact with me much. I like the participation, but it's completely fine if you just want to listen or watch. But anyways, I set up the website so that it's really easy for you to submit. You can just scroll down, enter in your question, and then if you would like to get some free Wellcoin, you can put your email address. If you would prefer to be anonymous, you can leave it out. But so far, everybody has submitted their email address to me, which is also exciting because I'm really looking forward to building up the community within the Web3 world. So eventually, I hope to start the Discord and just make it easy for people to connect with one another and truly revolve around a community and not just, this one-sided thing that we have going on right now with me sharing things and you just listening or watching. If you didn't know this about me already, very passionate about true community. And so I just want to thank everyone who has submitted thus far and let you know that if I haven't gotten to your question or topic suggestion yet, it's coming. And yeah, so let's dive into today. Before I really get into the subject matter, there are some things I wanted to share that are not fully related, but I was really excited to share them on this show since I've gotten into the rhythm of this show and had some really great feedback. I now find myself throughout the day thinking about what I want to talk about when I go live and screenshotting things and saving things. And as you're going to see today, I do a lot of research on Twitter. In fact, I just got off of a Twitter space that was so eye-opening and inspiring. I can't fully articulate or explain what's going on, but there's a big controversy happening in Web3 today on Sunday, February 6th. And it's about somebody who I'm not super familiar with, but a big figurehead who's super involved with something that I'm still trying to better understand exactly who this person is. But this person said some very discriminatory, that's a word, right? Just his words were not inclusive. Let's just say that they were harmful to certain types of people, and the Web3 world, especially on Twitter, is really upset about it. So I've seen light references to this, and then I saw that there was a Twitter space happening with 1,000 people in there listening and people taking turns speaking, and I spent about 30 minutes listening in. And even though I was a bit confused about exactly what people were saying, it was helping me A, identify my lack of knowledge, B, show that I'm new to this whole community because the Web3 world does have this sense of community in that there aren't that many people in Web3 yet, even though maybe there are thousands of people that are really active, maybe more than that. I don't know, just throwing that number out, but it still feels like a small niche group of people. And to hear their voices on Twitter Spaces and the passion in which people are talking about these issues and working through them in real time was amazing. So to be able to listen to something like that right before I went live gave me a lot of energy because I just see how much people's hearts are in this and how people really want to work on making Web3 an inclusive place and how committed people are and how there's a voting system and people are really striving to make it democratic so that everybody has a say. And that just lights me up and again keeps bringing me back to my core reasons for wanting to explore Web3 and understand it as much as I possibly can every single day. So, speaking of understanding things, the resources I want to share today are things I found on Twitter that can help you better understand Web3 and learn along with me as usual. Everything I'm going to reference today, so far at least, unless I bring up something new that I didn't plan on, is linked in the description of the video. If you're listening to the audio podcast I mentioned yesterday, I'm working on some sort of a system where you can easily find all the resources. But for now, your best bet is to go to one of the video recordings. I suggest YouTube. There's a YouTube playlist on whitneylauritsen.com/web3. You can click on the individual videos, and in each description, there's a list of all the resources if you want to go check them out. And I also try to read them out loud enough so that if you wanted to just go look them up, you could. If you have suggestions as a listener, as a viewer, on how I can make this easier for you to find this information and follow along, please let me know. I just want to make this simple for you and accessible. So with that said, let's dive into the first resource. This is actually just an image that I thought was really, really well done. And this came from at AJ Iyen's Busy. Ugh, I'm probably botching his last name. Maybe not. I guess that wasn't so bad. But he posted a tweet on January 16th that shows the visuals of Web 1 versus Web 2 versus Web 3. And this was the first time I saw it laid out like this. So I found this really useful. So Web 3, if you're not looking at it with me, is a username and a password. Like you would log into a platform as most of us do every single day. Web 2, though, what was added to that was the ability to sign in with social media platforms or platforms that you're already on, like Google, Facebook, and Twitter. So if you've noticed when you sign up for a new account somewhere, you're logging in instead of having to create your own username and password from scratch, you can use one that you've already created on one of these platforms. And Web3 is where you connect your wallet. So if you have not yet created a wallet in this world, whether to buy cryptocurrency or NFTs, once you do, you will be able to use that to log into a lot of these Web3 based platforms. So I liked that visual there. The next resource I wanted to share is something I plan to go through. I don't know for sure if I'll get to it, but this is from at Garrett Hughes, who wrote the ultimate blockchain, NFT, and crypto learning thread, and then in parentheses said, warning, hundreds of hours of content. And man, is this impressive. He has, I assume it's a he, actually, I'm not sure. But let's just say Garrett wrote out all of these tweets with resources. So pretty much anything you wanted to learn. And my goal is to go through and check out a bunch of them and see what I can add to my knowledge base. And then similarly, I'm going to get to somebody else who has a fantastic resource, but this is someone I want to shout out when it came sometimes, isn't it funny when like regular common words that you say come out oddly out of your mouth? Anyways, I want to dive into now the examples I have today for part one of Impactful Women. The question or the request for this topic today was to learn about more women who are making impactful projects in Web3. So let's dive into that. Most of these are on Twitter, but they also have they live elsewhere outside of the Twitter space if you're not currently using Twitter. So number one is at my BFF, and they're all about welcoming more women, non binary, and other friends into Web3. They have a Discord linked right here. I think I might have joined it. I've really enjoyed following them, and they have lots of great resources, and it's all about women. So, this is a good account to follow if you want to. Um, see what people are doing on Twitter and beyond, and join a really cool Discord centered around women. Speaking of good resources, another one that keeps coming up a ton on Twitter and beyond is at World of Women NFT. Is a celebration of representation, inclusivity, and equal opportunities for all with 10,000 NFTs of diverse and powerful women. This I've seen so many people with these NFTs. And they also have a newsletter that you can sign up for. You can also go to worldofwomen.art. Then we have Crypto Chicks, which is another NFT project that I see all over the web. I keep thinking about getting one myself. I honestly feel a little bit overwhelmed. I haven't been buying a ton of NFTs. I've talked about this a few times, how I'm like very slowly stepping into that space. And I think it's just because I feel very ignorant. Like, what is the point? I don't want to buy something just because of a hype, right? I don't want to buy it just because I see everybody doing it. But if I were going to buy one, I would definitely consider Crypto Chicks because it seems very legitimate. My friend Brian Fanzo is really into them. They just seem like they're doing great things for this world, and I just love it. They also have this trend. I don't know if they started it, but I see a ton of women posting Web 2 me versus Web 3 me, and it's like a picture of the woman's face and then their crypto chick that they got, and usually they look kind of similar. So if you see this trend, it seems like it's rooted in crypto chicks, but I don't know for sure. Maybe it was started by someone else and then all these women got on board with it. So I just think it's a really cool thing. And actually, let's in real time check them out on OpenSea because I don't even know how much a crypto chick costs. I think this is part of it. If it was like super affordable, maybe I should just do it. I guess affordable is all relative, right? But here, let me bring it up on my screen. So if you go over here, you can click on buy now. Now that I'm looking at this, I feel like I looked up the crypto chicks recently. So in terms of buy now, the least expensive one is 1.5 ETH, which what is Ethereum at today? Let's see what the price is. $3,000. So, that's pricey, $5,000 or so. Personally, I like to be mindful about those type of purchases. I'm not at a place where I'm just going to quickly buy something that's $5,000. But that could change, I suppose. And I just think I'm amazed, that first of all, this is an incredible example of how successful some people are in this space. Crypto chicks, I don't know that much about them in terms of who started it and who's making all this money, but the financial success that they've had is incredibly impressive, and the hype that they've gained. And they have 40,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know what their presence is like outside of Twitter, but just the fact that they've been able to launch tens of thousands of NFTs, and right now the cheapest that you can buy are about $5,000 US. That's something else, and they're really cool looking. They're the PFPs, the profile pictures. So you can use them, and they've got all different designs. I'm really curious. Like, how do you decide which one you're gonna get? Do you base it on your price point? Do you base it on what the look is? if you have any experience with this, I'd love to hear it. And then I think that Brian Fanzo on the NFT 365 podcast did an episode with Crypto Chick. So I have not gotten to that point. I'm listening to all his episodes in order, so it could take me quite some time to get to that episode. But I'll let you know as I learn more. All right, a couple other resources, or just a handful, I should say. There's a hashtag on Twitter that I just found last night that was started by Honey Badges, which is another NFT that I've been keeping an eye out for. And they have a hashtag which is hashtag Let's Fund Girls. And if you follow this, you can go see all of the NFT projects that women are behind. And they are just absolutely beautiful. You can search by top or latest. So let's see what we got here. Ooh, this one I thought was incredibly cool. This is Lazy All Right, I think is, or Lizzie All Right. And this is called Mask the Series, masked as in ed, not plural. And I actually paused for a second because this one's only $213, and I almost bought it today. I saw this. I love the idea behind it, as was shared here. It's a limited edition created to manifest the masks people wear to hide their emotions. And I just was very moved by this. But then I went to the rest of the series and thought maybe I'll get a different one because look at this one. They're actually all the same price. See, to me, $213, it's still something that I have pause on. You know, I don't like pull the trigger right now on NFTs, but it's certainly a lot more affordable than 3,000. So this one's really pretty, the Overwhelmed. And if you go down, it tells you more about the series and how the artists created the series after hitting a rough patch. There were no significant rhymes or reasons as to why I started drawing, but later sorted everything out. And I find that humans hiding our emotions behind non-physical masks to be the most fascinating dysfunctions that we suffer from. The idea that you never really know what a person is feeling is as concealing as it gets. This series reflects on a lot of emotions that I had since healed from, but being able to share what I was feeling at the time feels right in the form of creativity. And I also think this just points out all the different types of NFTs. I'm just deeply fascinated by this world, you know, these artists that are creating these incredible pieces with meaning behind them, or they're creating things that are really trendy and everybody's jumping on board with it. There's one that I didn't pull up to share today, but it was a female NFT project about, like, I think it's like flower women. And I saw like Reese Witherspoon posting about all these like celebrity females were buying these NFTs, and it started to feel a little overhyped, but at the same time, the artwork is absolutely stunning. So if you follow some of these accounts, and really on Twitter, it's the quickest way to learn about all these projects, in my opinion. You will just be overwhelmed in a really good way at all these incredible people. There were a few other accounts that I wanted to bring up before I wrap up. This might be one of my quicker episodes, but I never know how long they're going to be. One of them is at Hello WE3, and it's a community of professional women and non-binary operators building the world we want to see in Web3. And it just has a really positive energy around it. They have a pinned tweet that says, "We envision a world where women and non-binary individuals not only have a seat, but an entire community at the table. We're excited to create that community in a bigger way than ever, starting right now." And you can follow this account, and they're sharing just all sorts of amazing things that women are up to in this space. And I just find it really positive and helpful and makes me feel good. Ooh, look, they also have a list of some women and projects you should know about. And top of the list is Crypto Chicks, followed by my BFF, and you can check out the rest of them here. There's a bunch I don't even know about yet, but Hello We3 is on here too. This is one of their retweets, I believe. So go check that out. And then we have Jessica Lawson 92 on Twitter, who posts a lot of really helpful content. One of them that I'm really excited to share with you is her Web3 resource guide. And I listed this in the description. Look at this thing if you're watching and not just listening. It is so impressive. It's a Google document that's public, and Jessica compiled pretty much anything you could imagine. I will definitely be referring to this, and my ambitious brain wants to go through every single piece in here. I don't know if that is plausible because as you scroll through, there's a ton. And I also get very overwhelmed when I look at things like this. But if you have a specific question, this could be an incredible resource because it's so well organized. This is something that really inspired me. And I thought, maybe I'll make my own version of this guide, or maybe I'll just keep referring to hers. So, last but not least, an account that I was absolutely thrilled to learn about is Alexandra, the NFT nutritionist. Her Twitter handle is at NFT nutritionist. And she is here to empower the vibrant NFT community to decrease stress and heal through nutrition. And you can book a consultation with her. You can go check out her 6-step focus enhancer challenge, which she made specifically for the NFT community. And this is designed if you want to understand your habits, fall in love with food, and get your mental focus back. So I might look into this because I just think what she's doing is so awesome. I added her to my list that I have on Twitter, which is all about people in Web3 talking about mental health. So if she appeals to you, I can turn you on. I'm going to pull up that list right now on the screen for you. I did not put this in my links yet, so I can add this later. Or you can go to @WhitLauritsen on Twitter. That's my account, and find the mental health list. And it has 25 people right now. And I'm adding to it anytime I come across someone who's talking about well-being, mental health, wellness, nutrition, and just really educating people on these positive perspectives. There's an amazing meditation NFT I came across through this. And, some of these people don't just post about mental health, but they're at least places, people that you can go to if you want some support with that. Because as I said a few days ago when I did my mental health episode, I think that's just incredibly important. So that's what I have for you today. There are some amazing women out there, more than I can keep track of, but those accounts have really been a good guide for me to stay up to date about what people are doing, specifically women in this space. I also think including non-binary is really important. As I mentioned in the episode that I did about diversity, it's just looking at all different types of people that are in this space, and not looking at Web3 based on like one specific type of person. I think that's the biggest thing I'm hearing is you hear the terms like crypto bros, and you hear like the hustlers and people trying to make it all about hype and money, and there's just so much in this space. There's so many incredible people and diverse people that are coming in from all different angles, and Web3 ultimately will just be like the current state that we're in right now with Web2. I mean, it's not like I don't think it's going to be a drastic change. I think we're slowly moving into this new space that we're going to call Web3. I didn't even know the term Web3 until I think like this past fall, and I didn't know that we were in Web 2. So it wasn't something that people like referred to in my world. So I think we'll get into Web 3 and it'll just be the way that we're living, and it'll be like a time where we can reevaluate how we operate online. And I'm excited about that and encouraging you in all these different ways to just get involved and expand your knowledge and also your perspectives about how you view what's happening. If I can do anything else to support you, whether you're just observing or you want to get more involved, please let me know. As mentioned at the beginning, please go to whitneylauritsen.com/web3 to find any of the replays, any of the resources. I keep updating this whenever I think of something helpful. And as I mentioned, please send me your questions and topic requests. If you add your email address, I will send you over some free well coin. And that will get you some of my coin on Rally. which you can hold on to and get all sorts of different perks. Trying to load it here. The price went down. So if you want to buy any, this is a good time to buy, actually. It fluctuates a lot, just like anything else online. And once you get some that you can, you get little benefits, like you get rewards every week. As long as the coin's getting rewards, you get access to the private Discord that I'm working on. You can earn free well coin, as I mentioned today, and you can also redeem it for some of my services. So I think Rally is an absolutely amazing platform. The other thing you can do here, if you get some free well coin from me, is actually exchange it for other coins. So you can go onto the Discover Coin section and see some of the other amazing creators and thought leaders and entrepreneurs and artists on this platform. And you could go either buy some of their coin, trade it in. It's just a really neat platform that has connected me to amazing people. So definitely hope that you check it out. I'll be back again tomorrow for day 21. Very excited to celebrate 3 weeks and one of my favorite numbers. And I have a topic in mind for tomorrow, but I'm not going to say what it is, so that hopefully you will tune in. Remember, if you're watching the videos, that I have the audio only podcast if you would prefer to just listen. That's also at whitneylarson.com/web3. All right, bye for now. Have a wonderful rest of your day, your night, whatever time zone you're in, and hope to connect with you soon. Bye.